It was already nighttime, with little movement on the street and a relaxed vibe of people chatting on the sidewalk. A group of friends was sitting calmly, while one of them briefly shows something on his phone to a friend wearing a light-colored cap. Suddenly, two men enter the frame and approach directly. One starts searching one of the guys, while the other stands nearby, making intimidating gestures to keep the group under control. At that moment, a man in a black shirt quickly stands up and intervenes. According to the information available, he is a police officer. The situation is contained within seconds, and one of the individuals falls near the spot. The other tries to run off, and shortly after, a car that had been parked nearby pulls away and leaves the area quickly. No items are taken from the group, the officer is not injured, and the case remains under investigation. Security camera footage shows a residential street in Fortaleza with little movement and a parked car that appears to be in an ordinary situation. Shortly after, another vehicle slows down, pulls over, and a man gets out, heading straight toward the parked car and trying to take control through intimidating gestures. What he didn't know was that the vehicle was an unmarked police car. The response happens within seconds, and the incident unfolds quickly. The driver of the other vehicle leaves the area in a hurry. Soon after, officers begin a search and manage to detain one of those involved a short time later. The area is secured, assistance is requested, and police reported that no officers were injured. The cameras show a man arriving home on a motorcycle, slowing down to park. Seconds earlier, another motorcycle with two people rides by slowly, watches the area, and leaves the frame. Shortly after, an individual returns and makes a direct approach using intimidating gestures and demanding belongings on the spot, while other vehicles continue passing along the street. The victim steps away from the scene and moments later returns and intervenes in an attempt to end the situation. The motorcycle rider tries to leave quickly, but the incident takes a serious turn a short distance ahead. Assistance is called and the belongings are recovered. With the noise and commotion, residents come outside to see what happened, and the once quiet street turns into a tense scene. Cameras show the inside of a snack bar during a routine moment. A couple at a table, the cashier closing out the day, and an employee moving through the dining area. The calm shifts when three men enter with aggressive behavior and demand belongings, creating immediate tension. According to reports, the man at the register was a police officer helping his wife at the business. He steps in, the commotion moves outside, and the group flees in different directions. In the end, one of those involved dies, and a staff member at the snack bar is also hit and does not survive. Security camera footage shows an employee coming down a staircase inside a company in a closed, routine setting when he is suddenly confronted by a hooded man who tries to approach him and demands his phone. The employee attempts to back away and reach an exit, but the man closes the door and keeps insisting, even pressuring him for more information about the place. At one point, the employee pretends to feel unwell, buys a few seconds, and uses an opening to get the door open and call for help. The commotion draws the attention of other coworkers who manage to restrain the suspect until police arrived. According to reports, a possible accomplice outside was also located and detained shortly afterward. A busy roadway with heavy traffic and pedestrians on the sidewalk on an ordinary day in a big city. Nearby, workers from an internet service company continue their job with no sign that anything is wrong. When the traffic light turns red, cars line up and stop. At that moment, a motorcycle with two riders moves up through the lane and pulls alongside the last vehicle, attempting to initiate an approach right there in the middle of traffic. What they didn't know was that the driver was a police officer and had already noticed the suspicious movement. The response happens within seconds, and the incident ends with a serious outcome. One of those involved dies at the scene, and the other receives medical assistance and is later taken into custody. Police reported that the officer was not injured, and there were no reports of civilians being harmed.
Security camera footage shows a market during a normal routine with the cashier on duty and a calm flow of customers. Suddenly, a man in a gray shirt and a mask enters, heads straight to the counter, and makes intimidating demands. A customer tries to back away, but another person appears at the entrance and forces the situation to continue inside. The pair attempt to collect phones and money while the cashier looks for a moment of distraction. When an opening appears, the employee reacts, grabs the suspect's arm, and a physical struggle begins. A customer steps in to help, and more people enter and assist in restraining him. Together, they manage to take the object and keep the man pinned until police arrive. The other person involved leaves the scene before officers get there.
Security camera footage from a residential street shows a car pulling up during a routine moment. As the occupants are still getting out, two men approach quickly and attempt to initiate an approach, demanding keys and belongings. Two women step away to get to safety while the driver is pressured. As the individuals prepare to leave, the driver moves behind a utility pole and intervenes, causing both to abandon the plan and run off. One of them collapses a short distance away and does not survive. The other manages to escape. According to reports, the items were recovered and none of the victims were injured. Four men approach a parked black car and make a quick approach, demanding the key. The driver avoids any confrontation, hands over what they ask for, and steps away. Next, the group gets into the vehicle and prepares to leave. But seconds later, the situation changes. The driver returns, and according to reports, he is a security officer. He intervenes immediately, and the individuals abandon the car and run. Three manage to leave the area. One does not keep up with the group and remains at the scene. Assistance is called, and the incident remains under investigation by the authorities.
Camera records a busy street corner with cars passing by and pedestrians walking along the sidewalk. At the location, a car wash is operating normally, with employees working and customers waiting nearby. At one point, a motorcycle approaches. The passenger gets off wearing a delivery-style backpack and makes intimidating gestures, disrupting the routine at the business. What he doesn't realize is that one of the people present, wearing a sports jersey, is a police officer. As soon as he notices what's happening, the officer responds immediately to stop the situation. After the intervention, the two individuals leave in a hurry. The officer moves away from the area and receives assistance with no threat to his well-being.